Hi everybody, it's Jesse from Local Matters. Thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to talk about pest management and weed control, trying to keep those under control, okay? We're going to talk about being proactive today so that you can have a happy, healthy garden, all right? But first of all, let's look at our seedlings that we started a while ago. If you look here, we have some collards and we have some mustard greens. Now you can really tell a difference. It gets really exciting after a month or so. You can see the mustard greens have kind of this light, bright green. Your kale has these jagged leaves. You can identify them by that. And then your collards just looks like a collard leaf, right? It's a little bit rounder, a little less jagged on the outside. So these are about ready for transplanting. I'll do that soon. Just wanted to give you an update on that, all right? Now let's talk about weed control. So there are a couple things that you're gonna need to know. You're gonna need to know plant identification most of all, right? So you're gonna need to know what's in your garden so that when you're weeding, you're not pulling it out. You're gonna need to know that these are strawberries, right? And for instance, this is a strawberry leaf over here. And then these are like wild strawberries, right? So you're gonna need to know to get rid of the wild strawberries if you don't want those, and to keep the actual strawberries, okay? You're gonna need to know what a dandelion is, what pigweed is, what purslane is, all these different weeds that you're gonna wanna get rid of, okay? And one of the ways that you can prevent that is with a bale of straw, okay? Straw is what I like to use as a mulch. It helps to keep down weeds. So you're gonna grab some of this straw and you can put it around the plants that you've planted once they're established, okay? So you can take some straw like so, and you basically just wanna get a nice couple of inches around your plants, all right? You don't want to bury your plants. That's the trick. Like so, and just put it in between the rows. And that's going to help to keep your weeds down. And it's also going to help moisture stay in your garden. And I'm also going to do that in the strawberries over here. There's a little bit, but I'm going to make it thicker. And the benefit of that for the strawberries is the same thing. Suppresses the weeds, keeps moisture in your garden, and with strawberries it also helps your strawberries not to lay on the soil so they don't rot, okay? And now over here in this bed, we're not going to put the straw just yet because we have some seedlings. You'll notice right here we have some beet seedlings, which is really fun. Then we have some pea seedlings, and I'm waiting on little gem lettuce seedlings. Hopefully those will sprout as well. But once everything sprouts and gets to be a couple inches tall, then we'll add the straw. Okay, so here are a couple tools you can use. One of the things with weeds is obviously you're gonna end up pulling weeds at some point in the season, and probably a lot of weeds, okay? Even if you take preventative measures and put some mulch down like straw, okay? And you know, about half of the time I use my hands, and about half the time I use a tool. And I get really excited when you find a cool tool that you can use, okay? This is a disc weeder here. So it's really small and it helps you get in between different plants in a really easy, simple way. And they make one with a long handle like this. I can get rid of this dandelion, just like so. Get rid of some of this clover if I want. And they also make a version that is handheld, so if you're stooping, or if your garden, you know, if you want to use something like this is the same thing, it's just a handheld version. Very cool. There are lots of different weeding tools that you can employ, okay? It's always helpful to have a tool that you like so that you don't mind weeding, because you will have to do some weeding, right? Okay, so let's talk a little bit about pest prevention. So you need to take notes in your garden. If you want a happy garden, that's what you're gonna have to do, okay? So you wanna look under leaves, and you want to be observant. Maybe get a notebook or create a little notes section in your phone to make sure and keep track of what's going on with your plants, okay? So you want to observe whether they're nice and green and happy, or if there's spots or holes, and then be proactive, because if you ignore what's going on, it can really affect the health of your garden, okay? So you're going to deal with things like cucumber beetles, cabbage worms, squash bugs, just to name a few, okay? The cucumber beetle is something, it's yellow with little black stripes on it, or black with yellow stripes, I guess. And basically they overwinter near your garden, And then they come out, they lay their eggs at the base of your cucumber plants and some other plants like that, okay? And then they start biting into the plant, and they have a fungus in their feces. I know it's kind of gross, but it is what it is. That causes bacterial wilt, okay? There's not a lot you can do about the cucumber beetle as far as organic products. One of the ways that you can fight the cucumber beetle is that you can plant them later in the season. So instead of planting them in May or in mid-May, you wait and you plant them a month later, and that way they find your neighbor's plants, okay? It's kind of sinister, right? So that's one way to prevent it. Another way you can do it is you can get some row cover, and you can cover your cucumber plants for the first month that you plant them. They'll still get water, they'll still get sun, and once they flower, you can remove that, and that can help to prevent it. Another way to fight pests is to use succession planting. Succession planting basically means that you plant a couple cucumber plants, let's say in May, and then in June you plant a few more. That way, if your one plants has started to suffer, then you plant another round of those plants so you get more cucumbers once your first cucumber plants possibly die, okay? Another thing you're gonna probably deal with is cabbage worms, okay? And they drive me crazy. You try to grow some really pretty cabbages or some greens, and the last thing you want is holes in your food, right? It's just not attractive. It doesn't make it something you want to eat. So one of the products that I use is spinosad, and that's in this product here, Captain Jack's Dead Bug, and I'm not trying to promote any products, this just happens to have it in there. And that is an organic product, and you can rinse it off, and it's not harmful to you or your family. You do have to follow the directions on the back of these products for how often you can spray and how soon before harvest you can spray. But this is really effective. You're gonna have to reapply it once it rains, things like that to keep in mind, okay? There are other products like insecticidal soap that are fine to use as well. Just follow the directions on the back as well, okay? And other than that, I mean, the big thing is, again, being proactive. It's like anything in life. If you want to have a nice garden, you just have to be willing to learn, do some research, and try again, okay? So thanks for joining me today. It's been really fun. Happy gardening, and I hope this was helpful.